Are you looking for some salty snacks that you can have on your weight loss journey? Well, I have a few options coming up for you right now. Hello and welcome to my porch. I'm not in the kitchen today, not even on the other side of the counter, because it's a very nice day out and I figured I would record this one outside. My name is Roy. I'm a home cook, amateur baker, and I share on this channel recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds. Today I'm doing another video sharing snacks, but this time they're salty snacks. So this is one of my short videos, and again, I don't think this is going to be that short. I actually thought that this would be shorter than the sweets one that I did last week, and you haven't seen that. I will leave a link down below. Links for everything that I found will be down in the description box. I've tried to, if they're specific items or brands, I've tried to link their website and their where to buy, their store locator. So that should be down below so that you can find it, because most of these things are available in supermarkets or in Target or Walmart. You just have to know where they're sold in your area, and those links to the store locators or where to buy should be helpful there. I'm going to start off with a very simple, quick snack that you might already be enjoying, and that is pickles. Especially like dill pickles, the spears, those are 0 bites, 0 points. And if you don't know, I'm following the iTrackBites Better Balance plan, which is the equivalent to the WW Blue plan. So most pickles are going to be 0 bites. They're nice to add to your lunch. They're nice to just have a little snack. The one you have to be cautious of is bread and butter pickles, which I love, but they do calculate as a point or a bite. I think it's 1 per spear if you're doing the spears. You might be able to get away with like putting a few of the chips on your sandwich maybe. I don't know what the points are, but there are no sugar added pickles that are 0 bite, 0 points. The next one is mini pretzels. I've been snacking on these all along. I love that salty crunch. I will get a big bag of them and weigh them out. Always weigh your food if you can. Alter the way it reads in the app, whether it's iTrackBites or WW's app. I believe you can adjust whether you weigh them. I know on iTrackBites, I can't recall on WW, but you can alter how you track them. Pretzels I will weigh, just because you tend to get a little bit more than counting out, and it's much easier than counting them all out. And what I will do is I will portion them into little snack bags and have them on hand, so when I need a snack, I'll just grab a little pouch and I'm all set. And there are 3 bites for a serving. You can adjust it down if you want just 2 bites or 2 points. You can adjust the weight down in the tracker to see what it would be to get to 2 points or 2 bites. So don't be afraid to, don't feel like you have to have the full serving and, oh, it's too many bites or too many points. Alter the size of the serving. Lower it and get fewer bites or points for it. So if you just want a little taste of something, I think you can actually have 3 mini pretzels for 0 bites or points. Maybe I've used all my bites or points, or I'm saving them for something else. I'll just have like 3 pretzels and not add any bites, but have a little satisfying salty crunch. Now the next one I want to talk about is one I've been enjoying since the beginning of my journey last year, and that is Peatos. And there'll be some images here. Now the rings which are kind of like onion rings. They have the plain onion ring and they have a fiery hot one. I go for the fiery hot. Those are in the single serve bags, those are 2 bites. If you get the curls, which are kind of like the baked Cheez-Its, not Cheez-Its, the baked Cheetos, those are going to be 4 bites for a single bag, but still worth it. And if you have the bites, definitely worth it. If you get a bigger bag, you can, like I said, adjust the serving size to fit with how many bites you have or how many you want to spend. So Peatos, I know they have their own website where I've ordered from, but you can also order from Amazon, and those links will be down below. Another one that I've enjoyed is Quest Chips. This is the company that also does bars and I think cookies and some drinks, protein drinks. But Quest Chips, they have a variety of flavors. And if you get the single serving bags, those are 2 to 3 bites or points per bag, depending on what flavor you get. Now they have their own website. They also have availability in some stores. So the link to find the store is down below, as well as a link to their Amazon page if you wanted to get them that way. Okay, the next one is Smart Food, and that's the popcorn that has, usually the main one that I always used to see was the white cheddar, and now they've come out with a lot more flavors, some sweet, some savory. They also have a Smart 50, which is a lower calorie one. And those are typically 3 to 5 bites for a serving. The sweeter ones are probably a little bit more depending on what kind of sweet coating or whatever they have on them. They might be 8 or so. I don't usually do the sweet ones. I usually do the salty ones. Okay, another one that I love, and I will alter the serving size of, is Garden Veggie straws. And there'll be some images here so you can see what the package looks like. Those are 4 to 8 bites per serving, depending, because they do have some sweeter flavors. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think they had apple cinnamon. I'm not sure which other ones. I usually go for the saltier versions, which are also lower in bites. And I'll have them with lunch. Okay, so I do weigh mine out. And when I do it, it's 16 grams you can get for 2 bites, or 2 blue points. And that is still a pretty good sized portion. So I don't need the full portion, especially if I'm having them like with a sandwich for lunch. So that is always an option. Don't feel like you are stuck to that portion that they tell you is a serving size. If you want fewer, if you want to lower the bites, just alter it. Another one is popcorners, which are very tasty. They're made from popcorn. They look like little triangles. You'll see some images of the bags here. Now those are 4 bites for 17 chips. Again, if you weigh them out, you may get more, may get less, depending on the size of the chips. But you can also, again, alter the size. But they do have another product called Flex Chips, and those are protein chips, and you can have 24 of those chips for just 2 bites. And again, if you weigh them out, you could have more, you could have less, depending on how many bites or points you're willing to spend for the day. Another one along those same lines is Pop Chips, and those come in a variety of flavors. Now, if you get the single serving size bags, they are 3 bites, or if you get the bigger bag and you're splitting them up, they're 4 bites for 20 to 23 chips, depending on which flavor you're getting. So just make sure you scan them in the store, and also verify when you do scan in the store, verify that the calories and everything are correct, because I have had some issues on both iTrackBites and WW where you scan and either the formula has changed or something's changed and they didn't update their program, and the calories, the fat, the protein, whatever, were off. So just always double check when you scan something in the store, just to verify that everything is accurate and you know exactly what bites or points you're getting. Okay, another one is Pirate's Booty. And if you get the single serving bags of that, they're half an ounce, so they're going to be 2 bites. If you get the big bag and have to sort them out from the big bag, you get 1 ounce for 4 bites or points. So it's basically the same thing, just in the single serving bags, they give you half an ounce. But you can weigh them out if you get the full bag and want to portion it out yourself. Another snack that I've really enjoyed is, it's got an odd name, it's Bada Bean, Bada Boom. And you'll see some of those here so you can understand what I'm saying in case my jaw is giving you issues with comprehending what I'm saying. Those are roasted fava beans, and they come in a variety of flavors. Very good, very nice crunch, saltiness, and there are only 2 to 3 bites for a single serving package. So a nice little treat that you can carry around with you for whenever you want that little salty snack. Another thing that I have surprisingly been enjoying is pork rinds. And they now have all sorts of flavored pork rinds, barbecue, spicy, salt and black pepper, I believe I've seen. So there are varieties, and those will be 4 bites for an ounce. So basically the same as the Pirate's Booty. And you can portion those out in individual snack bags. Just buy the big bag and sort them out. You save a little money rather than having them all portioned for you. And pork rinds are generally found in the chip aisle. And I don't have a link for those down below just because there are so many different varieties, so many different brands, and there's nothing specific that I could have done except maybe put in a search in Amazon. But I mean, you can do that yourself if you want. But most supermarkets have some form of pork rind somewhere, usually in the chip aisle. Okay, also is air popped popcorn. And you can have 3 cups for 3 bites. You can, of course, whittle that down, but that's how it comes up in the iTrackBites app, at least, is a serving of 3 cups for 3 bites, which is much better than getting the popped popcorn or getting the little microwave bags of popcorn. All you have to do is go buy the kernels, pop them in your microwave. That's how I do it. I have a little microwave popcorn popper, and I just have it ready on hand, and within like 3 or 4 minutes I have some freshly popped popcorn. What I will do is spray it with, I can't believe it's not butter spray, so that it's 0 bites that I'm adding, and then I will season it with a little salt or whatever. And later on in this video, under accompaniments, I'm going to have some other options that you can do to season your popcorn. Now the next little section is kind of nacho related, which is why it's in a salty snack video. But there's nachos that you make yourself. So usually what I will do is cut my tortillas in triangles and throw them in the air fryer. You can throw them in the oven. If you don't have an air fryer, you can put them in a toaster oven. But that way you make your own, you know what's on them, you know what's in them, and you don't have to worry about all the extra fat from frying. Now, one brand that I just recently got and really am enjoying is Mr. Tortilla 1 Carb tortillas. And they also have a spicy version, so of course I tried those. But they are 0 bites for 1 tortilla. They're 1 bite for 2 to 4 tortillas, and 2 bites for 5 to 6. So you could use 6 tortillas and just have 2 bites and have a bunch of nachos that you've cooked up yourself. And you can salt, season them however you like, dip them, which I will be having some dips coming up in the accompaniment section. But definitely making your own nachos is definitely a great way to save bites and points. And another one I will use, Mission tortillas. They have some smaller corn. I think they might actually be called extra thin or something, but just scan them at the market. But you can have 3 tortillas for 2 bites, and you can just cut those up again, cook them in the oven. And also what I do for wraps or sandwiches, or what do you call it? Or for quesadillas, is I will use La Banderita carb counter wraps, but I will also use those and cut those up. Those are usually big sheets. They're 1 bite for 1 wrap or tortilla, and I will cut those up, and you'll get a little bigger tortilla than you do from the smaller ones. But these are flour, so they will crisp up a little differently, but they're still great for an improvised nacho. One of my loves, and if you saw my first video where I did my introduction and then did the 0 bite, 0 point cream cheese that's made from Greek yogurt, at the end I spread it on a cracker with some everything but the bagel seasoning, and those are Wasa crisp breads. They have different types of crackers. They're not all crisp breads, so you want to make sure it says crisp bread and you scan it, because even the crisp breads can alter in bites or points. But the ones I use are usually the light rye, and those you can have 2 crackers, and they're like the size of a graham cracker sheet, 2 crackers for 1 bite. So if I have 2 of those with some of my 0 bite cream cheese and a little everything but the bagel seasoning on top, it's a nice little treat, a little saltiness from the bagel seasoning, but those are really good. So check out Wasa crisp breads. Definitely worth checking into. Now there are also rice cakes. I talked about rice cakes in the sweet episode, but there are also salty rice cakes. There's cheddar, there's plain, there's lightly salted. So there are different varieties. A lot of times I'll get the Quaker, and those generally are all 2 bites per rice cake. And you can do all sorts of things with them. I've had egg salad on them. I've had chicken salad, just a smear of hummus. So you can do things with it. You don't have to just eat it as a normal rice cake. As I mentioned in the sweet snacks video, you don't have to just have a plain rice cake. Doctor it up, make it a little more fun, a little more festive. Make it something that you're going to enjoy, so you don't feel like, ugh, I'm eating another rice cake because I can't eat anything else. No, play with it, doctor it up. You can do all sorts of things. Now, besides the Quaker rice cakes, there are also, I've found some thinner versions of rice and corn thins. The ones that I usually get are from Real Foods. They're very thin, and those are gluten-free if that matters to you, and also kosher if that's important to you. And you can have 3 of those rice cakes for 1 bite, or corn thins, either one. And those, again, I will smear some hummus, some jam maybe if I'm feeling like a little sweet and salty thing going on. So it's definitely something to look into. I've also used it as like a sandwich bread and had like a chicken salad or egg salad on it. And also similar to those are Susie's thin puffed rice cakes, puffed cakes, I think. I don't think rice is in the name, but Susie's thin puffed cakes. And those are 1 to 2 bites, depending on the flavor that you get, for 3 of the cakes. So that's another option to look into if you wanted something salty. Another cracker type is Good Thins crackers, but again, not all of them are going to be the same bites. Typically, they're about 4 bites a serving, and I will weigh out 2 bites worth just to have a snack, but not go too deep into my bites for the day. And those are really good. They have a jalapeno one that I love. They have like a sea salt, I believe. They have a bunch of varieties, but just scan them and double check that the points or bites are where you want them. And one thing I haven't really mentioned, which are kind of obvious maybe, but are nuts. Almonds, pecans. The reason I'm not going to really go into the nuts is because I usually don't eat nuts. Only because, I mean, I will have some on occasion, but their bites or points are so high. It's like usually about 8 bites for a third of a cup. And I wouldn't necessarily shell out that many bites or points for a snack. But if you want to use them, if you have the control to eat just 2 or 3, 4, 5, then do it, because this is your weight loss journey. This is what you want to eat, and you have to just adjust your points or bites or servings or whatever to fit in those foods that you love. So don't avoid nuts. If you want nuts, you can have them. I know they have like 100-calorie packs. I think they are 4 bites maybe. But with nuts, I tend to want to keep going. I just don't feel like paying with my bites or points for the nuts, if that makes sense, especially when I can get that kind of satisfaction from something else. Like the Bada beans have that nice hard crunch, very much like a nut, but for far fewer bites. So it's all a balancing act. You decide what you want to fit in, how you can fit it in, and fit it in. That's what this is all about. You have to make this journey your own. You have to make it so that it's going to be sustainable for you. And if nuts are part of that journey for you, then that's fine. Let them be part of your journey. Just make sure everything's in balance and you adjust so that you can have them and not feel badly about eating them. You have to enjoy what you eat, so don't feel guilt about it. All right, now we are on to the accompaniment section. And that's anything that you kind of connects with the salty snacks, but isn't itself necessarily a salty snack. And the first one I'm going to talk about is cheese dip, which is great for the nachos. It's great for the pretzels. Frito-Lay has a cheese dip that comes in a little can. They have the regular mild cheddar, or they have also a jalapeno cheddar. And that you can have 2 tablespoons for 1 bite. So that's definitely quite a bit. And if you watch Friday's video, I'm going to be making a recipe for mac and cheese steak that uses the Frito-Lay cheese sauce. So check on that Friday. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so you know when that comes out. There's also Tostitos salsa con queso, and that is 2 bites for 2 tablespoons. And that has a little bit of the spiciness mixed in, a little salsa in there. Very tasty, worth the 2 bites for 2 tablespoons. And then there's also a great value version that I found. That one's actually the highest at 3 bites for 2 tablespoons. So look into the other ones. And I have links down below where you can find those, whether it's through the website, through Amazon, or through Find a Store. Okay, also Laughing Cow cheese wedges. Comes in a little round container, and they're little wedges of cheese, all sorts of flavors. And those are 1 bite per wedge for most of the flavors. Now I'll use these on crackers. I'll use them, scoop them up with some pretzel. I'll put the Laughing Cow cheese on both sides, on both slices of bread, and then put some of the low bite ham or turkey in the middle and make myself a sandwich without having a slice of cheese. Also cheeses, the Baby Bell Minis. They're little round wheels of cheese that you can, you unwrap, and then you have to peel the little plastic, I'm assuming some sort of plastic wax, feels like wax, wrapping off of it, and you have a little wedge, a little wheel that you can have for one bite. Double check, make sure that the one that you're finding at the store is one bite. Most of them, I believe, are, but not all of them. And I already mentioned this one, but there is an everything but the bagel seasoning, which has the sesame seeds, the garlic, the poppy seeds, some salt. That's great to sprinkle onto crackers with hummus or crackers with my zero bite, 0 point cream cheese. Sprinkle it onto a sandwich to give it a little more dimension. So there are a lot of things you can do. And I know Trader Joe's, Bada, there's a lot of companies that now have this seasoning. But if you can't find it or don't want to find it, I'm leaving a link down below where you can make your own. So that way you always have it on hand and you know exactly what's gone into it. And that is 0 bites for quite a bit of the everything but the bagel seasoning. I think you'd have to have like 3 grams worth or something before it starts to edge into the bites or points. But that's actually quite a bit, so I don't think you'd use that much. Now, as far as the popcorn seasonings I was talking about, I've been using Kernel Seasons popcorn seasonings, and there'll be some pictures here. Those, they have a wide range of flavors from sweet to salty. So I will air pop my popcorn or do it in the microwave. Spray it with some of the, I can't believe it's not butter, or parquet butter spray. And then sprinkle some of whatever seasoning. They have all sorts of seasonings. They have like a bacon cheddar, a jalapeno. I believe they have a kettle corn. They have all sorts of flavors. So that's something to look into to flavor your popcorn. I've also used it in other things, just anything where I thought I could use a little flavor there. Why not? Kernel Seasons also has a butter spritzer, which is like a spray butter that is 0 bites. But don't get it confused with the movie theater butter spray, which is 4 bites for a tablespoon. And you may not use a tablespoon's worth. I don't know how much that would come out to be. Now, the last 2 things are things I've already talked about, basically. Hummus, which, you know, they come in all sorts of flavors nowadays. There are plenty that you can make. I know Emily Bites has some great recipes. My friend Jennifer Lynn on her channel has tried the taco hummus, and I definitely want to try that one. And so Emily Bites is a place to check if you want to make your own. And also my friend Dee from Dish with Dee, she does some hummuses also. Hers tend to be a little sweeter. I don't know if, I'm not sure if she has any that are more savory. All right, so I did check, and Dee does have a couple of hummus recipes that are not sweet. So I will link one of those below, and then you can find the other ones on her channel. But if you don't feel like making your own hummus, or you don't have a food processor and it would be too much of a hassle to try to do it, there are plenty of good varieties out there. There's Tribe, Joseph's, Cedars, Boar's Head. I also have found at Whole Foods, and the last time I went, I couldn't find it, so it may have just been sold out, but they have an oil-free hummus that is just 1 bite for 2 tablespoons. I think, if I remember correctly, I think you might be able to go up to 3 tablespoons and it would still be 1 bite. I'm not positive about that, but I know you at least get 2 tablespoons for 1 bite or 1 blue point. And the other one that I've already mentioned is my 0 bite, 0 point cream cheese that you can find in my first video, and I will link that below. That one's great to put on crackers, like I was saying, with the everything but the bagel seasoning. You can use it on bagels. It's got a little saltiness because you put some salt into the yogurt to help it to drain. But that's a good accompaniment that you can use for a variety of things, including a number of the desserts that I have done on this channel and other savory recipes as well. And that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, if you've got some good information from it, please give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't and you are interested in some recipes to help you on your weight loss journey. Hit the notification bell for the next time I upload a video so that you are notified. And comment below what is the one item that you want to try from this list, or what are some of the salty snacks that you try that you could share with us and give us some other options for a nice salty snack. Say that 3 times fast. A nice salty snack. Yeah. And don't forget to check out my recipe blog listed down below in case you want to find some of the recipes from my channel or some that I haven't done a video for yet. There are quite a few recipes on the blog, so check that out. And until next time, bye.